Hey, yo, it's SKEE with Breaking Records Radio, you bitch! The filth in the building, nigga. Let's go. We in here. What you got? What is that? Is that an Ice Cube shirt?
Yeah.
The Ice Cube hoodie?
Hey.
I love it.
It's some girl who actually lives out in LA. She was making them, and one day I just commented on her shit. I'm like, yo, that thing is fire. She's like, what's your address? Hits my DM. She's like, what's your address? I'll send you one.
Hey, you know what? That's wild, my nigga, because I got an Ice Cube shirt off Instagram too.
Really?
A free, yo, on my mama. It's a green eggs and ham. It's a green eggs and ham type of shirt, but it says "Mama made breakfast with no hog."
Oh man,
it's fire.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Hell yeah.
Man. Well, hey, my man, G-Mo, thank you for allowing us the time to sit and talk with you today, my man.
Man, I appreciate it. It's all good.
Hey, man, you know, one thing I want to say before we really get into the shits is you bodied the bully Cipher, my guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that shit, man. I appreciate Big C Bully for letting the boy get on there. You feel me? Cook a little something, man.
Oh, man, you killed that shit, man. You killed that. When you told me you were on that, I'm like, oh, man, this shit's about to be crazy.
Appreciate it. They had to bring the filth, man. Had to bring the filth.
Yeah. The video, the video you shot with it and everything, digging up the dirt with the that was fucking. Your visuals are always on point.
Appreciate that shit. Yeah, we've been working a long time shooting our own videos and shooting videos for other people and shit. So even when it's some quick shit, you know what I mean? It's just clockwork for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's actually what I was gonna bring up. With that being said, too, because I noticed that you do the majority of your own videos. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And then you know, what got you, was just like necessity for, you know, needing, you know, not relying on others? Is that what got you into doing videos, or did you have a history doing that stuff beforehand?
I had a history of doing it beforehand, bro. Like you know, like when I was in high school, me and all my friends, we like created a conglomerate, you know what I'm saying? And we just did everything ourselves. Or you know, my homie Nobi would do most of the things. Like my homie Nobi, he makes beats, you feel me? He was the first nigga like editing the videos and shit like that. So like Nobi's always been on that technical side of things, the production side of things. But then at the same time, you know, I had to learn it too, you know what I mean? Because, you know, the self-efficiency, eventually it became, you know, I got to be self-efficient, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I remember at one point, man, me and Nobi, we was doing this Imp Gang Media shit, and we was riding around the Bay Area just doing music videos for people for like $100, $150. We'd have the little cameras, and we just shoot them and chop them up, because we were like ahead of the shit as far as like doing your own music videos and doing all your own editing the shit and making it look nice. And, you know, the 3-second rule, you know what I mean? You want a clip. You know, when you're editing a music video, you don't want the clips to run on for too long. I say every 3 seconds, you want it to change. You know, we learned this thing. And you know how in this new era of music, it's all about self-efficiency. It's all about us, my nigga. Like, we don't need nobody. You know, you think back to the days of motherfuckers trying to get on MTV and they spending 50 grand on a music video. That shit's done. Like, you can shoot a music video with your iPhone now. So if you don't have the ability to shoot and edit yourself, like, that shit it's almost essential now.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I think, you know, even me as an artist, you know, I'm not super technical with the videos and stuff, but I know at least enough where I can do my own, you know what I mean? If I got like a single that I'm really trying to work, I'll pay, you know, a videographer to do it so it's proper. But it's like, you gotta always at least know enough to be able to consistently be putting out content in today's climate, right? It's like,
yeah, hell yeah.
But the quality, oh man, is insane. That's why, you know, I really had to ask about that and give you a nod to that, because, you know, a lot of artists can do their own music videos, and, you know, 9 times out of 10, it looks like they did their own videos. But the quality of your guys next level. And I love the way that you're able to, you know, there's one thing I've always found really, really dope about the visual aesthetic of videos, and it's when you can pull something off where it's almost kind of like corny, but corny in a good way. You know what I mean? Like the Bowser outfit, right? Like, it's like just a regular Bowser outfit, but the way that you put the rest of the video around it is perfection. You know what I mean? Like, it's done absolutely perfect. You couldn't, you know, like, you couldn't get a better result if you used CGI, for example. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that is perfect for the direction of the song, right? And I think that's a thing you guys have kind of being able to work have and make the perfect connection with the music. I think is something that you've like really kind of mastered.
I appreciate that, bro. Because you know one thing that I try to remind people all the time is like every music video, even if I didn't shoot it and even if I didn't edit it, like every moment of every music video, I damn near wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm the type of dude, I listen to my song and I'm like, I gotta shoot a video for this. I'll write my own treatment for every one of my videos. So I come with ideas all the time. I'm like an idea machine when it comes to the music videos. You know what I mean? So I have like probably 50 music videos, you know what I mean? And all of them, maybe not all of them, but most of them have some kind of something going on in the video. Like it's not just me in front of a fucking wall, you know what I mean? It's always something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a director, if you will. You know what I mean? Because I direct my own music videos, even if I'm not the one shooting it or editing the shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's bringing that vision to life, bro. I'm good at bringing a vision to life.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? A lot of times you'll talk to people, whether it be artists from a videographer side, you know, or whether it's a videographer that's inexperienced to the artist side. You know, I've dealt with both, but where, you know, they're like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. And you're like, yo, dog, I don't know how you expect to pull this off, but this isn't feasible. You know what I mean? And this isn't the type of song where you could like do this and it'll come off cool looking like you did it low budgetly or that you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, certain songs don't work that certain, you know what I mean? But I think, you know, it's kind of like the Busta Rhymes, the Missy Elliott, you know, your videos kind of remind me of that kind of, you know, like where you're able to, I don't know, play that realm of reality and kind of, you know, fiction, but like a perfect balance of it to bring the vision to life with the animation of the song, you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Missy Elliott. Probably the best motherfucking music videos ever. She's really, I ain't gonna say she's underrated, but she deserves more respect for her creativity in the music videos she brought for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And even like, you know, like I think and to a degree, I think sometimes, and I guess as an artist, you know, who doesn't fear playing with the humorous side within their lyrics and stuff, even though your lyrical technicality is like, you know, it's on caliber with the greats. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's dimensions of you check boxes, as Royce the 5'9" would say. You know what I mean? As a lyricist, you check the boxes. But I think a lot of times artists in that regard take themselves too serious, and you're not afraid not to. Do you feel that like historically that kind of hurts sometimes artists who are technically great? Because the debate I have with people quite a bit is like Ludacris deserves props as an MC, but I think because of the way he visually presented himself, like he had that humorous element to him, that he might not have got taken as serious as he should have been for what his skill set. Do you find that ever kind of you ever get boxed into that group a little bit?
You know what? I do. I get boxed into a lot of groups, right? Yeah. Because so like you said, like, you know, you got the technical side of it, you got the funny side of it, sometimes you got the horror side of it, and sometimes you got the video game nerd side of it, right? Like all of that shit is like mixed into my pot. And a lot of times people don't know how to just take it all. They'll just take one part of it. So it's like, oh, he's funny, and then that's it. Or, oh shit, he's a nerdcore rapper, and then that's it. Or it'll be just like, oh, he's a horrorcore rapper, and that's it. They don't know how to take it all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this shit is the filth. It's funny. It's punchline, technical, raw. Sometimes it's over the top. And then, like, I like to put nostalgic in it. You know what I mean? So I'll go with some Mario shit, or I'll have a punchline about an obscure video game or wrestling or some shit like that. It's just, you know, I think some people just don't know how to take the whole pot. They don't know how to take the whole mix. Because really, I'm actually from the hood. Like, I'm a hood dude. You know what I mean? I'm from Richmond, California, like the trenches for real. But I guess since I don't always rap like that, you know what I mean? People get it fucked up a lot of times, but I don't let it bother me. I just like to be me. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever it is, if it's coming from me, it's just, if no matter how they understand it, it's okay. Cause it's me. It's honest. It's like straight from the heart. So I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that's one thing that really makes you come across different than a lot of other underground MCs is that you are unapologetically yourself, and you can see it in everything you do. You know what I mean? And even from the
Yeah.
style stuff. And I remember seeing an interview with you. I think it was maybe the No Jumper, but where you said like, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to wear 2 bandanas as a cross on my head and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but
Yeah.
and like to be yourself growing up from Richmond, California, like, was it, did you feel pressure on you coming up to feel like you had to kind of, be part of gang culture, to be a part of hip hop culture, one and the same? Or, did you always kind of walk with that of just being unapologetically yourself?
I've always, you know what? I've actually just as a kid, like from elementary school and up, I've always been kind of a hater. Like I don't mean that in the like most negative way, but it's like if everybody is eating hot Cheetos, I hate hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me? Like everybody's playing with yo-yos, fuck yo-yos. Everybody has Pokemon cards, I fucking hate Pokemon. Like that's the type of guy I've always been. Like it's like everybody's over there, I'm over here, you know. But so growing up in the Bay Area, you know what I mean? Like I was born in 1991, you know what I'm saying? So let's say like early 2000s and all of that shit. It wasn't like hip hop wasn't as like gang influence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some new shit. Look, there's always been gang members in rap. We know that. But like today it's just like it is a pressure to represent portray yourself as a gang member. It is a pressure today. But
Yeah.
I'd say for me growing up in the Bay Area, it was more pressure to like be hyphy because the hyphy movement
Mm,
was going on. You know what I mean? And all of that, like the Bay Area, like the foundation of what spread across the world, all the Mac Dre and all of that shit, that Bay Area sound, everybody was doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I was more of a like Eminem fan or D12 fan. So I had to
yeah.
do a lot of like defending myself and defending what I liked because a lot of motherfuckers in the Bay Area was like, what? You ain't listening to this, man? What, man? Watch out, man. Like, so I had to do a lot of just like being myself, like just being like unashamed to be what I like and do what I like, represent what I like, and I never wavered. I never faltered from that. But
That's dope.
I still got a lot of Bay Area influence in me though. Like some of my music sound like some Mac Dre shit or whatever, because you have no choice but to, you know what I mean, get with the program. It's not like I didn't like hyphy. It's not like I
Yeah.
love Mac Dre. He's top 5. Like he's one of my favorite MCs, but I just dared to be way different from everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then so coming up, like even like in the hyphy scene, I guess, because was there was there a pressure? Because I know you are a lyricist, right? But like, was there like really a battle culture within that scene? Like, did you have to battle coming up with cats, or was it a little different because the hyphy was more kind of about the vibe?
Nah, man. Actually, I did a lot of battling on the streets and a lot of ciphering on the streets ever since I was in like 6th grade, maybe like 5th, 4th grade. I've been battling, because how I came up, like how it is in the hood. It's like if you say you rap, niggas gonna be like, all right, spit something on the
Yeah.
spot. Like I'm used to being put on the spot. You know what I mean? Or like, your friend might know you rap and then he goes tells his big brothers and shit. So then the next time they see you walking down the street or whatever, they'll fuck with you. They're like, oh shit, look, it's Lil Jerron, Lil Jerron, man. What's up, man? Spit something, spit something. And it's like, if you don't spit something, you a cat. You feel me? So I was put in them situations and I battled a bunch of times. In high school, I went to high school on a community college campus. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So as a high school kid, I was around more grown people, you know what I mean? Like Cool John, I Am Sue, all of those people went to Contra Costa College when I was a high school kid. They were in college, but like they seen me, you feel me? Me and my nigga Nobi, we was out there battling motherfuckers straight up. Shout out to my nigga Tigger the Rock. Shout out to rest in peace, Young Clown. My nigga T Dot, G4. You know what I mean? We used to be up there at CC College rap battling for sure in front of everybody. Like for sure. Like I'm really a real MC for real, for real. Like for real.
Yeah. Have you ever stepped foot into like the battle culture ring, like like with the you know, like the smacks, the KOTDs, but like in the organized battle community, have you ever stepped foot in those rings, or always kind of kept it more to your music?
Well, no, I've never done an official battle, but
Yeah.
Disaster and Lush One, they trying to kind of get me into it. If you peep
Are
my
they?
No Jumper, they're like, yo, we got to get this motherfucker on a battle. But no, I never jumped in the ring. But early in my career, I was involved with this shit called the Team Backpack Cipher.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
remember.
saying? Oh, so you familiar with Team Backpack?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was on that shit. I was actually the very first audition winner in Team Backpack's history. You know what I mean? Like, this is back when Team Backpack was just Bay Area wide. It wasn't everywhere. It started in the Bay Area, started in San Francisco. I'm right over the bridge in Richmond, and they threw an audition, you know what I mean? And I was the first nigga to win the audition, and they pretty much made me a permanent member of the crew. They damn near made me the poster child for the auditions, because they kept
Wow.
letting motherfuckers audition and shit, and they would use my video as an example. And I was the nigga who brought the filth, and I contributed to the cipher because I was like a new element. I'm talking the filth, I'm talking the crazy shit, you know what I mean? So I kind of like grabbed attention outside of the Bay Area with some of the kids in the Midwest that fuck with strange music and fuck with the underground shit. They're like, man, y'all heard of Gmo? Yeah, I heard of Gmo. Man, check out his Team Backpack ciphers. So like, it was like I was a wave on those ciphers. There were kind of like battles, but you weren't rapping about your homie that was in the cipher with you. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers voted for who came the hardest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's about the closest I got to like a battle in arena was the Team Backpack cipher.
That's crazy that you were right there from the induction of it too, eh? But and even some people made me think of it because, like, to our earlier conversation, but about the idea that you get categorized maybe sometime by certain individuals in certain boxes. But I think the one thing that really kind of does on the other side of things is it means you relate to different things. Because when you mention like the Midwest, like the strange music fans and stuff, it's like, you're right. Like, you have a style that really kind of complements so many of these different underground subgenres and subcultures of hip hop that kind of coexist. But you kind of have a style that fits and meshes with all of them, whether you really mean to or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Even the Juggalos, you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of crazy actually. Very well-rounded style.
You know what? That's very fucking true. Cause on my come up, I made a lot of stops, a lot of places, like from the Team Backpack, you know, to the Funk Volume, you know what I mean? Like, I was rocking with Hopsin and them niggas, and then to the Jedi Mind Tricks, you know, Vinnie Paz hit me with the Cosign, and I hooked up with Lance and shit, you know, to the Juggalo shit, and then, you know, to the strange music shit. So I have been in a lot of different corners of the whole underground thing. You're absolutely right. And that's kind of what my fan base is built up of. You know what I mean? Those little moves that I made with all them people. Shout out to Hopsin. Shout out to Tech Nine. Shout out to Vinnie Paz. Shout out to Bazaar from D12. Twiztid.
Hey.
All the niggas that, you know what I mean? Like, stamped it for me. There's a lot of motherfuckers that just stamped it. They heard the Gmo shit. Cause I feel like I'm a rapper's rapper. Like, the people that appreciate me the most are people who actually write raps. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So some of these veterans, like, they hear me like, yo, I fuck with this little nigga. You know what I'm saying? From the Tech to the Vinny, like, they heard it like, I fuck with the filth. This nigga's dope. So I can die happy just with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my, like, just the respect that I got from these individuals and shit. Like, I could just die happy with that for sure.
Yeah, man. And even to go to that too, because you're right. Like, all the different cosigns. Like, what was the first really big kind of, you know, cosign that you did get? Was it the Hops and the Funk Volume?
It could be the Hopsin, but it also could be the Vinnie Paz. I feel like the Vinnie Paz cosign really changed my life. Like, it made me official. I got so many new fans when Vinnie put me on his EP and Vinnie co-signed it and stamped it and shared my music and shit like that. He really, really helped. So I'm gonna say, because, you know, at one point, you know, we was rocking with Hopsin before Sag My Pants came out and he blew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, me and my Inf Gang niggas was rocking with him before it exploded. You know what I mean? But he was cool enough to, you know what I mean, pull us up with him a little bit. You know what I mean? He went up there, he still pull up to the Inf Gang barbecue for free. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm rocking with my Inf Gang niggas, you know? So Hopsin definitely is one of them. And I say Hopsin and Vinny is like the first ones, you know what I mean? But the team backpack thing was like really the first thing that really helped me get momentum and helped me spread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And how did the Vinny thing come across though? Like, did he just discover you online, like through word of mouth type of thing?
No, actually, I opened a show for him in Oakland.
Okay.
I had to sell tickets. I'll tell you the whole story right here.
Oh, ticket hustle back then too, eh?
Yeah, man, I've been on it forever. But there's this thing in Oakland called First Fridays. So every is it First Friday or last Friday? I can't remember. I haven't done it in so long. I think it's First Fridays. Every first Friday of the month, they shut down the block and they have a big ass block party. And this guy handed me this flyer and he just kept walking. But I looked at the flyer and I seen Hopsin and Funk Volume on it. I know these niggas, you feel me? But then I seen Vinnie and Ill Bill, Heavy Metal Kings.
Oh,
And then I seen Sugar Free. And I'm like, nigga, this whole car, I had to chase this nigga through the crowd. Like, hey, hold on. I'm like, nigga, how can I open for this one and this one? He's like, bro, you put a little deposit down, I give you some tickets, sell the tickets. Man, it's all good. I'm like, nigga, we cashed out real fast, got them tickets. I sold every one of them motherfuckers, made some money, because he gave me extra tickets to sell for myself. Nigga, we sold that shit out to all our people. And we was deep in that bitch in the Hopsin show. And then I think like the next month was the Vinny show. And man, I couldn't leave without talking to Vinny, bro. So at the end of the show, I just said, fuck it. I knocked on the dressing room door and they opened the door. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm G-Mo SKEE. You feel me? I'm the opener and shit. I just wanted to come say what up before we shake the spot. And Vinny was like, oh, you G-Mo SKEE? Oh, man. He was like, they told me you was opening, man. I'm like, G-Mo SKEE. That's the dopest rap name I ever heard, bro. I'm like, no way. He's like, I'm V-Mo SKEE now. You feel me? I'm V-Mo SKEE. I'm like, word? He's like, I'm a peep, G. I'm a peep your shit. I'm a peep. So I'm like, for sure. You know what I mean? I didn't even get a picture with him. I'm just like, for sure, nigga. We got out of there. And then maybe a month later, C-Lance contacted me and was like, yo, Vinnie Paz showed me your music, bro. Like, here's a whole folder of beats. It's all you. Let's get to work, bro. And I see Vinny like tweeting about me. Like, motherfuckers is like, man, who your favorite new artist and shit? And he's like, Spit Gems and G-Mo SKEE. You know what I mean? And he just was showing mad love. And he hit me up. And he's like, G-Mo, I want to get you on this Carry On Tradition EP. You feel me? And he got me on the EP. He let me do 2 verses and a hook. He let me quarterback the track. Like, he really showed me a tremendous amount of love, bro. And that shit really, it at least put a fucking everlasting battery on my back for sure.
Yeah, see, that's crazy, man. And Vinny's one of those underground legends where his fan base is so loyal. If he stamps approval on something, you almost automatically, you at least got people who are going to come check you. You know what I mean? Like, that cosign means something in the underground community. He's got one of those loyal fan bases that like, oh, okay, Vinny stamped this. Like, I'm gonna check this, you know?
Man, for real. And it's like, man, all of a sudden you seeing videos of like motherfuckers in South America doing parkour and shit to your music and shit. Like, for real, that Innermost Hate song, bro. There's so many like, you know, foreigners just making random crazy moshing brawl. Like, there's these motherfuckers brawling in the street to that song in the Czech Republic or some shit. I don't like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And and that being said too, like as an MC, like, I know I've heard you in interviews and you mentioned it here, but like Eminem was an early influence. I think you said your brother, your cousin got you that, and you know, that's really kind of what changed you from, like, you know, I think you mentioned No Limit and stuff. You know, it was kind of by proxy what you're listening to prior. But like, as you've gone on and continued like this mission in hip hop and learning more of the past and history and everything, like who would you say are the biggest influences on the G-Mo style?
That's the easy one right there. That's easy. 3 people. That's Eminem, Vinnie Paz, and Big L.
Okay.
Those, as far as like the style, like, you feel me?
Yep.
Like, those is my 3, bro, because they all have these like pungent punchlines. They all have these like just like heavy punches, bro, like almost shocking punches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they have this technical skill, but the way that they deliver it is different from Jay-Z and different from Cameron and all these other rappers. And like, they just come with this fucking crazy punch that's like shocking. It's like, it's bound to stand out, these punchlines. You know what I mean? And those are just like my favorite things to listen to. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this nigga said like Big L, you know what I mean? What did he say? Like, even if my grandma violates, she gotta go. Like, it's just like hard. It's ridiculous. My favorite punchline of all time is Big L when he said, I'm undefeated. That's the stone truth. Because battling me is like fighting a gorilla in a phone booth. The visual.
I'm an MC assassinator. I grab a mag and leave a nag leaking like activators. Step to this and get tanked up. I knocked out so many teeth, the tooth fairy went bankrupt. That shit's crazy. What's that? Let him have it, Al? Yeah, that shit's, yeah, man.
He just punching. Like, it's crazy. Like, imagine fighting a gorilla in a phone booth. That's so ill.
And now that you say that too, I can see that. I can see that in your style, definitely. Like the way that you can paint like a vivid image of something that's just so like ridiculous and ill. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's nuts. But like it puts that visual. And got a lot of kind of vivid, out of the world bars like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's dope, man. And growing up, like you know, in the Bay Area, like what was your introduction to like artists like Big L and stuff? Like, was that with the turn of the internet or stuff, or did you have like older homies who were putting you onto that kind of stuff at a young age?
Well, yeah, like my brother and my cousin, you know, they were probably like my main gateway to rap music. My brother Roy and my cousin Anwar, they were like my main gateway to music, you know, but I was different from them. They was big Rockefeller Records fans, and I was the big Shady Records fan, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the little kid, and now I'm fucking with the Eminem D12 shit, but they was fucking with Jay-Z and all of them, and, you know, but still I would soak up game. And how I just remember how my cousin put on the, he's like, man, Big L killed Jay-Z on this, you feel me? Like, and he put on the fucking radio freestyle. He's like, and, you know, I'm just in the room. I'm a little kid. I'm just in the room, just kind of like listening to what they're talking about and what they're playing. And he's like, man, bro, if Big L was still alive, I'm telling you, Jay-Z, bro, would be washed, you know? So that shit just stuck in my memory. And I'm hearing like the shit that he's saying on these freestyles. Ask Beavis, I get nothing but head. It's just like, it was like, Jay-Z ain't saying nothing like that. Like, you feel me? Like, this nigga Big L crazy. But I remember in high school, my homie Nobi is the one who actually put me on to Jedi Mind Tricks and Ill Bill and that whole realm, Necro and all of them. Nobi introduced me to that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's homies, friends, and family and shit like that.
Yeah. And like to move it, actually, I got one question I do want to ask too before we move it a little bit forward. But are you still smashing all the GameCubes?
Yes, I am. I am. They're becoming a little harder to find now. They used to be easier to find, but they're becoming a little harder to find though.
And with that being said, I think it's a perfect segue to the new project you got out, the 8-Bit Filth EP Volume 2.
Yeah.
And for one, I love the 2 singles from it. That Ain't Falco. Me and my business partner Innes, literally the day you dropped that, we were on the phone like, yo, you see that video? He's like, yo, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like that shit was fucking incredible.
Appreciate that shit. Appreciate it, bro.
Man, the intro to it, like the feathers, when you're sucking these.
It's the creativity, bro.
And the way you edited it though, to make it and it actually looked like it was from the fucking old game, bro. That was so well done.
Appreciate it, dog. I like doing the whole video game parody thing. I got a video with Hopsin called Non-Essential Rapper, where we shot the whole video is made in Animal Crossing. You feel me? And it was during the pandemic, so it's like niggas wasn't sure. It's like due to the COVID-19, this whole fucking video was shot in Animal Crossing. I love using video games to make music videos. It's fucking hilarious.
It's incredible, man. And like the way that you actually were able to do it as well, you know, like it incredibly impressive, you know, like it looks very well done.
Appreciate that shit.
What inspired the whole 8-Bit Filth series to begin with? Like, did your producer just hit you with one beat one time that was like a video game, and you're like, yo, we should do a whole shit? Or like, was it just a whole idea you had birthed?
Yeah, you know what it was? So um, the first EP, I came up with the idea just by kind of sitting in my house and trying to make something new. Like I was on some like freestyle shit. You know what I mean? I had an album. I don't know. I think I was probably in the process of dropping Charlie in the Filth Factory, or I had either just dropped it and I was just on some extracurricular shit. I'm just like, I try to keep my sword sharpened. So I'm just finding like industry beats and rapping, making freestyles and shit. And then I'm just like, I was kind of burnt out on the industry beats. And I'm like, what can I do that's creative? I start looking up video game beats. And I'm like, yo, I should, you feel me? Because I got a lot of video game bars. I should just bring the video game bars. As a matter of fact, the influence might come like all the way back to like 2012, 2011, when I dropped my Got Filth 2 mixtape. I have a song on there called Final Boss. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's the first Final Boss song. So I kind of started it there. But as far as making a whole project, I just so happened to be at the house trying to keep my sword sharpened and trying to keep writing to shit. And I'm like, me and my nigga Cell is up in here just pulling up video game beats. Oh, this shit slap. This Donkey Kong slap. This slap. This slap. And just writing tracks to these fucking beats. So then I sent the beats, you know, not the beats, but the samples, you know, the actual video game music to my homie, and he just threw the drums to it and just did all that shit. And it was like, hell yeah, boom. I had a new project. Now this 8-Bit Filth Part 2, it came about because I just been creating my ass off. I made my Huckleberry Filth album, and then I made an EP with Stu Bangers called the Filth City EP. So I had two projects, and I was just in this mode of like, don't stop writing, don't stop recording, just keep going. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, I was waiting for the engineer to finish mixing my album. I was waiting for my homie to finish editing my video. I was just waiting for people, and I'm like, fuck waiting, make something else, nigga. Like, so I just, you know what I mean? Knocked out the whole 8-Bit Filth Part 2 in probably like a week, like written and recorded. I just made the whole EP in like a week, bro. And then, you know what I'm saying? It was like extracurricular, bro.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible, man, because the quality of the music on there is really dope. But it seems like it was a fun project. So when you say it like that, I guess I could see it. Because I mean, when you're doing like a studio album and stuff, it's hard to, you know, do things super quick, right? Like you're so meticulous as an artist. You're like, you know, I want to have this balance. Like there's so much thought you put into it. So I guess I could see how you could create an album like that, but a week is like that. That's impressive, man, because it's dope as shit. Like it's dope as shit.
Oh man, I appreciate you, bro. I've been on fire with the music, man. Like even the Stu Bangers, man. You could ask Stu. You feel me? Like, and I had this 8 tracks to this nigga in a week. Like, you feel me? Like, fast, just crazy fast.
That's incredible, man. What keeps you motivated to keep working at such a high um output? Because you know, a lot of times it's easy once you start to see some fruits of your labor and stuff too, and start to build your audience. You know, and I've seen it happen millions of times, but you know, certain cats will almost get kind of comfortable, and then they just like, you know, I don't know it's whether, you know, there could be a million reasons for it, but cats get comfortable and they stop working so obsessively. And I've always said, like, once you start to like get the momentum going, that's the time to hit the pavement the hardest and run. Yes. You know what
That's so true. I'm gonna have to say it's probably 2 things. I think number 1 is I've already been to that stage, right? Like I feel like I like my career is cut up into eras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's cut up into eras. So I had that era of trying to be heard and being a delusional rapper, and you know what I mean, trying to fight, you know, trying to fight for what's mine. You know, I've been through that era. And then I got to the era where I got put on, you know, Twiztid signed me. I'm on a tour bus. I'm making money. I got my own house finally, you know. And then I got to that era where I start letting the criticism and the backlash and all the little bad things, I start letting it get to my head and letting it fuck with me and made me into a grumpy asshole. You know what I mean? And then I got to the era where it just wasn't fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like the work became mentally, it became work. You know what I'm saying? So I've been these places, and then I left the label, and then I had to put my own CD out and prove that I could do it all myself. And You know what I mean? So I've been to these places of, like hungry, fucking excited, jaded. I've been to all these places. And luckily, now that I'm 30, like something happened in my mind where I'm starting to understand, like I'm learning from my mistakes and I'm learning what's important through experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm learning what's important, and I'm learning that like this is what I love to do. So I gotta make sure I keep it fun. I gotta not forget to have fun. A lot of these niggas forget to have fun with this shit. Like you in a band with a bunch of motherfuckers, it breaks up, motherfuckers is mad at each other. It's because all you niggas forgot to have fun. That's what this whole music shit is about. You feel me? And it's like once I reminded myself of that, once I counted my blessings, Magic Ninja Twiztid, they came back for me like, man, come on, let's get you back down, Gmo. You got these nigga. Let's go. Look, let's adjust your deal. Let's make sure it's right for you. And now I got a second chance to do what I did already. I gotta be a better man. You know what I mean? I gotta be a better man. I gotta be smarter. When you do something for the first time and you fuck up, you have time to sit back and reflect about it and be like, you know what? I wish I would have done this, and I would have killed it if I would have thought like this.
Yep.
That's where I'm at right now, and that's how I'm making so much music right now. Is because I know what's up. I'm awake now, bro. I see my past life and everything, and I'm like, I feel like I'm living my past life. I feel like I'm going back in time to fix the future right now. You feel me? And it's like I can't lose right now, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. That self-realization of, because us as men, we mature a little slower than women, right? And
yeah,
and our 20s, we're fucking knuckleheads, man. Especially as independent artists, with ego and that thrive to want to be the best and everything. I think anybody who takes this thing serious doesn't look back. If you don't look back at how you conducted yourself as an artist in your 20s and be like, damn, I try not to regret anything, but I think it's important to be able to reflect and, like you said, take a lesson from every negative in life, right? Because every negative has a lesson to it. Every single, it's up to you if you decide you want to dwell and be the victim or to learn from the lesson and move forward and apply it, right? And
yes, sir.
And it's I like the fact that you said that because, it's something I can relate to very much too. If I go back, it's like, I think simply the biggest thing I would have done is really apply myself. There isn't no tomorrow. It's like, no next time. You don't justify going out to do something you personally want over going to the studio or going to do this show, or you know what I mean? You're not too big to do a collab for this guy when he reaches out for you because your head's up. You know what I mean? It's like all those little fucking, you know what I mean, that you can look back and you're like, damn, this dude's the man now. Like, you want to know something wild? You know who Tom McDonald is, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to give our opinions on his music or anything. We can leave that. But because he's from Canada, if I can open my inbox right now on Facebook, and he used to spam me his music videos. You know what I mean? And I never gave this guy the time of day because I ran a radio show and stuff. I was like, you know what I mean? Because it's like there was no personal value to it. It wasn't like, hey man, how's it going? It was no trying to build a relationship. It was just spamming my inbox with his videos. Like, fuck this guy. But now look at him. He's like the biggest guy in the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, I could have even at least had a Tom McDonald interview. I'd be making money off that to this day.
That's facts. I got a lot of regrets like that too myself, man. So I think like as artists, we all begin as overthinkers. You know what I mean? And once you let that shit go and you just go with the flow, and relating to that, where you could have watched this video and gave them a play, I started to become like that myself because I realized what it took to get me where I'm at. Right? It took somebody to give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I try to give a fuck. I try to give more of a fuck nowadays. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing I'll definitely give you credit for, man. Because even me and you had never really had a conversation, but we became kind of connected with the Bully Cipher. And Big C told me early on, he was like, yo, I sent Gmo the joint. He was a little reluctant that it's like a 9-minute song. But when he checked it, he's like, okay, everybody killed it. But he specifically mentioned your verse and said he liked your verse. And I was like, dope. You know what I mean? I was on a high for like a week for that. I'm like, okay. Because when an MC you respect you know, gives you props, whether it's direct or through, you know, you're like, it's like that shit. It's like you said in an interview about disaster, right? But it's like, yo, that shit gives you a battery in your back to operate off of. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Hell
go,
yeah.
go. You know, and from there, just simply through that, you know, I've sent you the odd thing and been like, yo, you know, check it if you got a chance. And you're always like, yo, you always drop your feedback. You know what I mean? So you definitely are somebody who, you know, who does make the attempt to at least listen to some people. At least, you know, maybe not everybody, I don't know, but yeah, at least gave me that chance. So, you know, I agree, and I gotta see that, bro.
I'm the people's man. I'm the people's for sure, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And you know, I do want to ask you as well too, like, because you mentioned the first album off the label, so you are signing back to
Magic
Twiztid.
Ninja, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you and so this the 8-bit volume 2, that was the first CD that you put out off the label. Is that what you're saying, or was that?
No, I put out an album called The Filth Element. It's called The Filth Element. That was the one that I put out, and it's got Tech Nine and Blind Fury and all of them on it. That's the one that I put together myself. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the one off the label. Wow, impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Nine featured the Blind Fury, so they seem like they're like, okay, he knows what he's like. You know, he could operate by himself. Let's bring him back.
Yeah, man. I've been having this talk with my manager, but they was real proud of me because we never fell out. You know, even when I was making that album myself, I still had assistance from them. I was still able to call George, whatever I needed. You know what I mean? He'd help me if I needed anything. So I've always stayed connected to the ninjas. You know what I mean? I just wanted to go out there and try to do it myself. And you feel me? To be honest with you, I needed to reawaken my independent self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like being on a label that has a lot of tools. You end up using their tools and you become mesmerized with being a signed artist and what they can offer you. And you forget, like, wait, they signed me because I was doing all of my own shit.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of forgot about that. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is what it really took for me to go back and like, wait, man, I could put all my videos together. I could mix my shit. I could get all my shit done. I could do this myself. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. And now it's like, now that my old independent self is reawakened, it's like, nigga, why don't I take this and combine it with the backing of the label? And it's like, nigga, you can't lose after that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. 100%, man. And even like, I think, you know, after we do this interview, I'm supposed to talk with Cassius. You're familiar with him from Shady Records back in the day?
Yeah, I got a team backpack cipher with Cassius.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to talk to him in actually about 10 minutes. So we'll wrap it up in a few. And he actually, in a thing I was just watching earlier, shared a very similar sentiment, because he was like, you know, when I was on Shady Records, he's like, I blame myself for how, you know, my album not coming out and stuff. He's like, because realistically, I should have been pushing. He's like, you know, like while I was there, it might not have been him that said it, might have been you know, somebody referring to, you know, the information, whatever it was. But basically that was the sentiment, was like, you know, that if I would have pushed myself harder while I was there, like as an independent artist, and not relied on the label as much, Interscope would have in turn given more of a shit, which then would have allowed Shady Records to get the funding they needed to back me properly. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of exactly what you're saying too, right? It's like, you know, a label is there to work for you, but it's also on you to provide how much of a value you are to that label for what they're going to want to put into you as resources.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's a good realization to come to, man. I think now that you're there, you're back on the label, and you're back with the independent filth as well. It's a monster waiting to happen. And I gotta say, yes, too, I love the promotion you do on your page too. Like, you're hands down one of the most entertaining dudes on Instagram on my shit.
I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate it. It's a job, cuz we gotta have fun, and we gotta make it look fun to be us. That's what I tell my friends. Before we go on stage, I'm like, bro, just make sure you smile out there, bro. If you got a serious face on that stage, you're gonna look like you're trying too hard. Just smile, bro. Just smile. We got to make it look fun to be us, bro.
Yep, and I think that's a balance of what makes a lot of great MCs too. Is that balance of, your lyrics can be serious. You can have serious content, but try not to take yourself too serious, or else you can easily become kind of a character of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. Nobody likes a mad, bitter rapper.
Yeah,
And
or so,
that's what I've been forever. Like my angry lyrics is like it's like this mad bitter rapper, but you gotta it's gotta be a parody. It's gotta be funny. It's
yeah,
funny. And I
it's
try
all
to make it clear
yeah, it's all
that
balanced.
it's funny.
Yeah, the humorous side of yourself. You know what I mean? So it's a perfect mixture as to where you get somebody who's just so focused on being that. Yeah, they just come off like a bitter, it's like, I don't want to listen to this negative ass shit. You could literally spit the same lyrics. You could literally spit the same lyrics as that guy, but your attitude is gonna make people like it, and the way that you present yourself over that guy, because it's like, this guy just seems bitter and mad. You literally rap the same bars about chopping people up the same way, but you know what I mean? It's like it's all in the overall packaging. You know what I mean?
Yes, comedian shit. It's gotta be funny.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
deliver the punches like a comedian. Like, it's supposed to make you laugh,
The go ring singing like Ice JJ Fish. That shit, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
That shit was hilarious.
exactly.
Hey. Well, Gmo, before we do end it too, I just want to say again, I thank you very much for your time. And is there what can we look out for in the near future? Do we got any more videos off the 8-bit coming? Any more of those entertaining videos?
Actually I do. I got another video that I'm editing right now. It's a tearjerker. It's more of a depressing song about isolation. It's called Skull Kid. And
Yep.
it's not even an animated video. It's just like me on some Skull Kid shit. So, but it's dope. I think it's clean. I wanted to switch up the tone. I've never made a video for something sad or like a more emotional song. So I'm like experimenting with that. I want to see how people take that in, you know what I mean? With more of an introspective song. So I'm
Yep.
dropping that on the 13th, the day that the EP actually drops. I'm gonna drop that with it. So I'm
Dope.
putting that out.
Dope. I'm looking forward to that actually, because I was just having a conversation with my partner about that the other day, because we got a Sealands beat. We're talking about who we want to, potentially pitch it to for a feature, and like a deep beat. And he said to me, like, well, about Gmo. And I was like, I don't know if you would fuck with this. He's like, well, you don't know unless you try. He's like, how dope would it be to get him on some introspective shit? And I'm like, yeah, you could be right. And then sure shit, I talked to you now that you're like, that's the next thing I'm putting out. So I'm excited to hear that, man.
But I appreciate it. See, it's crazy. So like I always got, how when you make a project or an album, it's not all just freestyle shit. You got the content songs that's like topical. So I've always made introspective songs, but I've never made it a single. You know what I mean? I've never, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So
That's
I'm gonna
dope,
do
man.
this to see how people react to it, see what people like about it.
I think so. I think you'll be surprised at how much I think people are really gonna take to it, man. You know what I mean? Because it's always nice to see that human side of people.
Yeah, for real.
100%. Well, man, Gmo, I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you for having me, dog. I appreciate the motherfucking love, my nigga, for real. I appreciate the appreciation, and I'm here, dog. I'm here.
No doubt, man. I'd love to have you on again sometime if you're down for it, man.
Yeah, holla at the boy, man. Tell Cassius I said what's up. He probably don't remember me, but yeah, tell him we was on that team backpack cipher together, man. Tell him I said what's good, man.
I will 100%. I'll start it with that.
For sure.
All right, my man. Have a blessed night, my man.
You too, my brother. Thank you.
Hey, cheers, G.